coming up in another week, and then we got the sectional and district, and then hopefully state tournament for the Cardinals.
Now, also, it's a special night here. It's the last meet here in Maquoketa, so it's senior night, and with you being around the program, who are the seniors for Maquoketa this year?
We have two currently on our senior squad. It's Mason Springer, who will wrestle 138, and Alex Hoyer Dirks is a senior at 160. He's a JV wrestler. Right now they're introducing all the teams. They're going by weight class, both Maquoketa, Beckman, and Bellevue.
So what kind of team is Dyersville Beckman this year?
They have a 9-7 record. I talked to their coach earlier after weigh-ins, and he's encouraged by the number. They got 20 kids out. They are a very young squad. They only have 3 or 4 seniors, and 2 of them are injured, so they're not even in the lineup tonight. But he's very encouraged. He said, you know, they came to compete in every meet, and they've been in a pretty heavy schedule this year.
All right. Well, we'll send it back studio and work from some words from our sponsors, and we'll come back here with Dyersville versus Maquoketa. You listen to Maquoketa Cardinals Wrestling on KMAQ.
At 182 pounds for Bellevue, Brandon Bowman.
Let's do 3 here.
Beckman, Will Lemke, and for the Cardinals, Liam Onen.
You kind of stay close to the phone because in case they do the national anthem, it may go to a 4.
For the Blazers, Owen Grover, and for the Cardinals, Lane Stender. At 220 pounds, the Cardinals, Johnny Ragsdale, Beckman, and Bellevue are open. And at 285 pounds for the Comets, Kane Krasenhoff.
You know what? I'm looking forward to Hunter Clausen versus Abe Mickle tonight.
Yeah, should be a good match.
That Hunter Clausen kid is something else as an athlete. I thought he should have been the football player of the year.
Celebrating its freedom and those who protect it. We ask that you please rise and remove your hats.
Yeah, they're going national anthem, so go to a 4th. Okay, national anthem is over. Okay. Did you run a 4th or is it stay at 3?
Beckman and Maquoketa, we will have a JV match to start and a JV match to end, and then we will start varsity action at 100.
And back here at the old Maquoketa gym, and if I heard Mr. Gavin right there, Coach, they're going to start with the JV matches.
Yeah, it's one in the beginning and one at the end, and the coaches and the captains are out there in the center with the officials discussing rules and the coin toss to see who's going to get their choice in the second period, which they rotate back and forth by weight classes. Only time I've seen Beckman this year is Coach Sheepers and I took the freshmen up to Manchester, West Delaware. Beckman's really got some aggressive freshmen that look very good up in there in that tournament. So, and they start out with the 2 freshmen the first couple of weights. We're going to counter with Jade Armbruster, and I don't know if many of our fans know, Dale. I think Coach Schott mentioned it on the pregame show on Wednesday with you that the girls' state tournament is this weekend, and I don't believe Jade is going. I may be wrong, but she's currently ranked 6th in the state for girls in the 106-pound weight class division. So
Yeah,
quite an accomplishment for her.
Yeah, he did mention it because I brought it up because I had seen it online and was kind of excited about it. But yeah, she had a prior commitment with something else through the school.
I think it's state speech
competition. She'll be unable to make the state wrestling tournament, which is unfortunate.
Well, I think of putting on our first match. Looks like it's Hunter Berkey for Maquoketa, and of course we don't know. I didn't hear Bob say who the Beckman wrestler is.
I think it's Ryan Schlarman.
Well, both wrestlers are in the tie-up position with wrists, and now they just went to both with the head and collar tie. Berkey tried to shuck the arm past. Beckman really countered pretty nice. Now they got both one-on-one grip. Each wrestler moving for better position now. They're both keeping their feet moving and good head position. Beckman wrestler tried a head snap against Berkey, and Berkey countered it. They're getting close to the edge. Beckman's got a front headlock, snap down to the mat. Beckman wrestler just went for a dresser dump, which is head control, and grabbed the far ankle like an ankle pick. He's got Hunter in a cow catcher, and they're going to be out of bounds, but he's on his back. The Beckman wrestler remains in bounds. Even though Berkey's shoulder's out, he can still score. A new rule this year in Iowa wrestling. Well, Berkey got off his back. No near fall points have been awarded yet, so it's 2 for a takedown. Beckman wrestler stays in control, controlling Berkey's head. Tries a pancake on him. Referee stops the match, finally get him out of bounds. But he awarded no back points. So we got a 2-0 score. We have 32 seconds left in this first period. Hunter Berkey takes down, does an attempted stand-up attempt. Beckman tries a power half and puts Berkey over on his back. And the match ends in a quick fall.
Well, now we move on to varsity action. We will go to 106 pounds for Beckman.
So they're going to go up to a varsity match here at 106.
They drew for the order of the matches, and it must have been their traditional draw. We're going to start at 106 and go right up the weight ladder to the super heavyweights division tonight. Both wrestlers got their ankle bands on. It's like the timer's got the reset clock, and the referee's just going to blow the whistle. Nice quick shot by the Beckman, a high crotch into a takedown. Jade Armbruster doesn't escape. Beckman wrestler does a double on her. That's going to be a tensional release. Scores 4-2. Another quick low single. Beckman cuts around for 2. Right now, our wrestler Jade is getting kind of overpowered by this Beckman freshman. He's got 4 quick takedowns on her, and no takedown has been the same so far. He just finished an ankle pick. Now he's in a deep waist ride. Like he's working the armbar on Jade's right-hand side. Jade finally works up to her base, frees her hand, but the Beckman wrestler went into an armbar. And Jade fought that off and back to her back, but the Beckman wrestler gets 2 points near fall. Beckman goes immediately to a power half. It's like he's got Jade stacked up in a pretty tight position. And there was a fall. Beckman jumped out ahead by the fall with...
now up at 113 pounds for Beckman, Levi Feldman.
So we'll move to 113.
Maquoketa will have an open weight there. So
now up at 120 pounds for Beckman.
That bumps the team score up to 12. Hunter Conley, our sophomore, is going to be taking on Dan Wall, a sophomore from Beckman. Hunter really wrestled pretty well in our last tournament.
On deck will be at 126 pounds. Connors, Grover, Beckman, Ivan,
Both wrestlers seem to be stalking Berkey. I'm sorry, Hunter Connolly makes the first attempts, has a nice double leg shot, clears his head out, trying to cut the corner on him, gets a takedown immediately. Now he's going into a deep waist ride. Hunter's putting a lot of pressure on the young man's torso. He does a nice looking head lever, and if he stays, he's getting the count. He really adjusts nice, keeping his shoulders square to the opponent. He's got the head locked in tight.
There you go. There you go.
Now he tightens it up. He's working for better position. We look like he should be in a fall position. Close. Can't let that arm come through, Hunter.
Well,
the Beckman scores. No, he didn't score, but he certainly got to his base. So Hunter Connolly got a takedown and a 3-point near fall. Beckman come up to his feet. Hunter's got to take him down to the mat. He's only going to get a 5 count. Nope, there's a warning stall. Wrestling this year, one of the points of emphasis for officials. You have 5 seconds to return your opponent to the mat once he's in a stand-up position. Beckman does another stand-up, and this time he's successful. He does escape for 1 point. We have 40 seconds left in this first period. Hunter Connolly's got a 5-1 decision. They're back on the edge of the mat. Beckman just tried a shot. Connolly countered. He moves to a front headlock position. He's got him flattened out and spins and goes behind for 2 points takedown. Connolly does a cross-face attempt. Does a nice pushover with that far elbow. He's working for the cradle position now.
Coming up on 10 seconds left in the period.
Another sharp cross-face and that ends the period. Hunter Connolly is definitely the aggressor in this first period, scoring 2 takedowns and a near fall.
Yeah, 7-1 advantage right now going into the second.
Looks like it's Beckman's choice, and Beckman's going to choose to go down. And the Beckman's working his way to the center of the mat. He's trying to get him bottom position set. Official calls Hunter Connolly, and the whistle starts. Stand-up attempt by the Beckman wrestler. Hunter Connolly broke him down quite nicely. He's going to ankle ride now, driving his hips forward, trying to get... Oh, Hunter works for a cradle. Puts the cradle on. He's got near fall points counted. Hunter's a little bit out of position, but so far it looks like I see 3 for the official. That bumps the score up to 10-1. Connolly breaks the wrestler down. He's got him flat. He's really working the head now, trying to get more near fall points. Hunter's got him pretty well flattened out. Doing a better job of keeping that wrestler's hips. Now Hunter tries for the far side, half Nelson on him. He's working his way out to the side. Beckman counters that. He breaks a half Nelson. Hunter reaches back for that single wrist ride. He continues to put really good pressure on him. He's got him pretty much in the crow. Well, the Beckman wrestler just got up to his hips, started to stand up. Hunter Connolly counters it right well. He's got the near wrist. Looking like he's trying to do that head lever again. He's got his hips on the mat now. He just needs to pump that arm and step through. Connolly continues to be tough on top. Another re-takedown. This time he did it much quicker, so there's no stalling warning.
Less than 30 seconds now in the period.
Connor keeps good pressure on that young man's near wrist. He's got a good near wrist ride. Beckman tries another stand-up, but Hunter's got the far ankle. Brings him back down on the mat immediately. Now he's got him flattened out. Connolly works on an arm bar on the near side. But his hand got too high. Referee called potentially dangerous, so the match was stopped.
10-1 advantage for Hunter with 5 seconds left in the second.
5 seconds left. He needs a nice breakdown, and that'll end that period, and then he'll get his choice. Whoop, got a false start on red. Nope, he changed his mind. He'll go caution green. So Hunter has a caution for stalling and a caution for start position. Beckman got set. Well, he keeps bouncing around, so the referee's not going to move Hunter on until he's absolutely still. There's the whistle. And our Maquoketa guy just blocked my view. I can't tell. Looks like there we go.
Yeah, that not the greatest view from down here, is it?
No, I think we need my chair elevated about 6 to 10 inches. And it's going to be Hunter's choice. He's going to take down with a 10-1 lead in our final period. Beckman currently leads 12-0. So these are big team points for the Cardinals. Hunter tries to switch. Switch attempt. Beckman's trying to put the legs in. And Beckman does. He's successful putting in the crossbody ride. He broke Hunter down pretty flat. He's pretty much putting in a heavy crossface on Hunter Conley. The Beckman guy's got his leg elevated above Hunter's knee, so it's very difficult to get to a base in this riding position. But Hunter got back up to his base, and Beckman broke him down. Right now he doesn't seem to be gaining. It's the referee is, well, Conley got up to a tripod position. He's got an opportunity to get that leg free. He's hand fighting back in there. Beckman works for an abbreviated splato, but Conley doesn't fall for that. He's back on the mat. He's working very hard to try to get those legs off. Now he made it. Now Hunter Conley's trying to crowd the guy through. If he can just get his limp arm out, he'll have a 2-point reversal, which he does. So Conley just worked the heck out of that guy. He had him pretty well flat, legs on, and Hunter really worked to get out of that and get a nice reversal. Now he's working the stack position. He's got the arm bar on his left side. Beckman broke that grip Conley had. Conley goes back to a near wrist and a breakdown. Got him flat with a deep waist ride. He's picked a wrist. Following the Beckman wrestler quite nicely. But 10 seconds left in this period, so it looks like the Cardinals are going to get a 12-1 decision. Very nice match for Hunter. Pretty much in control the entire time, and he tries for a near fall at the end.
Well, we got a moment of some breaking news. It's kind of nice to be, at the high school next to the athletic director and give you the heads up. But the boys' basketball games at Dyersville Beckman tomorrow have been called off due to officials actually called it off in lieu of how big of a game it was. They didn't want to use replacement officials, so they're just going to postpone the boys. Girls' game here in Maquoketa is still on for now, as of now anyway. We'll go to 126.
We got Ivan Martin wrestling for Maquoketa. Ivan's a freshman, and he's wrestling a sophomore in Carter Gall. Both wrestlers are working to get wrist ties right now. They're nice in the center of the match. Ivan Martin just tried a kind of a fake single. Pretty much Ivan Martin's had this varsity spot since the beginning of the year. Ivan's trying to snap the guy's head to the mat and get him broke down onto the mat so he can go behind, but he hasn't been successful at it. Beckman just tried a shot, but Martin's got the hip sprawl on, looking for a front headlock position. Trying to pull that Beckman wrestler forward. They're both on their hands and knees now. Beckman's in on a double right now. Martin countered quite nicely, and they break away. They're working back to the center of the mat. Back to the center. Looks like we got both wrestlers trying to tie each other's arm. Martin just snapped the guy's head. Beckman countered that, moved back around the center, and both wrestlers are there's a nice single leg shot by the Beckman guy and a duck under the far side, so Beckman scores a 2-point takedown on Ivan Martin. Beckman goes right to Far wrist ride with the deep waist. Now he goes back to the angle and breaks Ivan Martin down. Right on the edge of the mat. Referee calls him out of bounds. We got a takedown by the Beckman. He's leading 2-0 in this very first period. We got 8 seconds left. See if we Martin get a quick score here. Stand-up attempt by Ivan Martin. Beckman counters, takes him right back down to the mat. Martin's a stand-up position again. He's working to fight his hands, and the period ends.
So 2-0 in favor of Beckman in this match so far.
Beckman deferred his choice, so Ivan Martin has elected to go down and starting this second period. We've got a problem getting that clock set. Now we're ready to go. Martin set again. Referee motions for the top wrestler to take his position. Martin does a nice stand-up. He's working fighting hand control. He's got to stay towards the center of the mat. But he didn't face him in time. He did a lot of work getting to his feet, but he just did not finish that stand-up to get his score. Now they're back down. Beckman wrestler changed sides on him, went to an ankle ride. Driving him forward. Looks like he's going to drive him right out of bounds. We got a cradle attempt on it right close to out of bounds. Martin is cradled and brought back in bounds. Smart move by the Beckman wrestler. Referee got a 3 count, so we got a 2-point near fall. That bumps the score up to 4-0. Martin breaks a grip, and he's back to his base, but he's reaching back between the wrestler's legs. Not much action he can do there. He tries a sit-out attempt, but he turned the wrong way, so the Beckman wrestler could pull him back down to the mat. They're out of bounds with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this second period. Ivan will have to take down again. No change in position. Beckman jumps to the other side again, goes to the ankle pick and breaks Ivan Martin down. Martin comes back up to his base. He's really working hard to counter the wrestler, anything that Beckman has given him. And they're back out of bounds again. Well, Ivan's got to figure it out that this kid's going to go to his ankle. And there he goes again. Ivan does get his leg extended, so the Beckman kid cannot control it, but he came back again. Got a far knee, far ankle breakdown this time. Beckman continues to put really good pressure on Ivan Martin. And looks like the Beckman wrestler made no attempt to improve his position in the last 2 or 3 breakdowns, so the referee just warned him for stalling. Now Ivan really has to go, because if he does not return him to the mat, it'll be 1 point. Ivan does a tripod. He's back up to his base again. He's almost free this time, but he gets his hit, but now he scored 1 point. Now they're back on their feet with 20 seconds left in this second period. Ivan reaches for a half single, comes back up to his feet. Got to make a shot here. Period's going to end.
4-1 in favor of Beckman here in this match.
Beckman's going to take their choice. He is going to go down. Beckman does his stand-up, and Martin brings him back down to the mat right away. Looks like Ivan went to his hip, which is a bad position to be if you're the top guy. So far, no advancement yet, no change in position, but Martin is in a terrible position. And there the Beckman breaks his grip, gets a 2-point reversal. 6-1's the score. Minute 30 left in this final period at 126 pounds. Beckman attempts a half Nelson, but Ivan counters that. Beckman goes for a wrist ride. Ivan Martin frees his hand, but Beckman goes right to a power half. Martin counters that. He's not making much of an attempt to get up to his base. Beckman wrestler stays very, very heavy with Ivan Martin.
He's got a minute left in the third period.
Puts him over the power half. He looks like a referee's getting the count. And ends up getting the fall.
Well, while we got a little break here, we're going to send it back to the studio for a word from our sponsor. You listen to Maquoketa Cardinals Wrestling on KMAQ. Just one.
On deck at 138 pounds, Grant Hager. Mason Springer, you're on deck, 138 pounds. In the hole, 145 pounds, Ty Beckman. Kate Nostern, you are in the hole at 145 pounds.
132 pounds, we got Dane Durkup.
Correct commercial.
Well.
And back here at the old high school gym, just underway is the 132 class.
Dane Durkup is a Maquoketa wrestler, another freshman in the lineup. Wrestling a kid named Hagman, who's a sophomore from Beckman. Both have a wrist and collar tie. Beckman just tried a head snap. Now he goes into an underhook. Dane Durkup breaks that. Now they're back to the center of the mat. Both wrestlers are trying to get hand control on each other, trying to control the head and arms. So far, both wrestlers got the same grip on each other. A little bit of motion by each other. They break away. Now they're back to the center of the match again. Durkup moves forward, gets his tie. Has pretty good head position. Looks like he's trying to get the Beckman wrestler out of position. Beckman tries a half attempt. Durkup tries a double leg takedown, but Beckman wrestler counters with a front headlock on the side. He's got a hold of Dane's chin. He's moving him. Finally gets two for a takedown. Beckman wrestler throws in the legs but gets on his hip. Dane is trying to counter that by freeing his legs, which he does. Beckman wrestler puts on a power half with the legs on. If he jumps to the side, he's going to have Dane in pretty big trouble, which he does. He gets off the legs. He puts the half Nelson on. He's got the arm and head locked in tight, and Beckman gets a fall.
Well, we got another break here. We'll send back to the studio for another word from our sponsor.
138 pounds for the Blazers, Grant Hager, and for the Cardinals, Mason Springer. 138 pounds, Hager, Beckman, Springer, Maquoketa.
He didn't hear me, so I didn't have the other mic up.
We're live then?
So we just keep going.
Maquoketa sending out Mason.
You did hear me, huh? Yeah, just one.
On deck at 145 pounds for the Blazers, Ty Beckman. For the Cardinals, Kate Nostern. In the hole at 152 pounds, Cole Dolmeyer.
Got to knock some of these out.
Times you are in the hole at 152 pounds.
And back here at the old high school gym, we're at 145 with Maquoketa's Caden Ostern versus Dyersville's Grant Hager.
Now we're at 138. Sorry,
oh, 138. I got jumped ahead.
We had senior Mason Springer's out there. He was taken down twice, but he's got two escapes on the Beckman guy. Beckman just took him down again. Mason Springer got his second escape. Yeah, I did get his third escape. Excuse me. Mason's in a front headlock position. This is the best position he's been in since the start of this match. He's trying to get the Beckman wrestler flat on the mat so he can go behind. Beckman wrestler counters with a duck under for another takedown from against Mason. And Mason turns to him and faces and gets another escape. 8-4. Beckman tries another outside single. He's got Mason Springer's leg picked up in the air. He cuts his arm across and gets two for a change off to a double. Beckman goes into a deep waist right and finally gets Mason broke down. Beckman wrestler goes right into a arm bar, trying to pull that wrist in. Mason Springer keeps moving forward. So far he's got that countered. Beckman goes to a tilt with the arm bar on. Got a 2 count. That ends the period, but he does get 2 points near fall. 12-4 ends the first period.
And so far for the meet, it's 24-4 in favor of Dyersville at the moment, too.
Whistle blow. Beckman does a tripod position. He's on his feet. Mason Springer's trying to take him down, but he cuts away and gets out for 1. Beckman wrestler goes to a Russian tie, changes off into a far side single, and drives Mason to the mat. Hooked right up into a pinning combination. They're very close to being out of bounds. Referee points for 3 for a near fall. Right now he has a 4-point lead. One more makes it a technical fall. Mason's in the down position. Start of this middle of the second period. Springer maintains his base. Beckman's working really hard trying to get that armbar again that he was successful with the last time. Lots of heavy pressure put by this Beckman wrestler on Mason Springer. Potentially dangerous. Armbar got too far towards the head against that shoulder joint, so referee wisely breaks that. They're back in the center of the match again. We got a caution on Beckman. Beckman does an immediate breakdown. Springer going for that near wrist again. He's got Mason Springer's arm pulled across his back. Like he's trying for a old farmer front headlock. Pretty tough to get out of that move. So another fall by Beckman.
Well, we'll send it back to you for another commercial break and come back with the 145 I talked about before. Just one, Jimmy.
52 pounds, Cole Dolmeyer and Ben Tynes, and in the hole at 160 pounds, Owen Hunegard and Jacob Thompson.
Caden Owens taking the mat from Maquoketa at 145. He's wrestling a senior, Grant Hager. Coach is pretty high on Mr. Hager as being one of his leaders in the wrestling room. Both wrestlers have a head and collar tie. Caden frees his hand. Both wrestlers continue to try to control each other's arm, at least one of them. Both trying to circle each other to find a weakness if he can against their defense. Beckman tries that front headlock position. Caden gets out of that quite nicely, goes to a Russian tie, circles him back in, frees his head. Beckman wrestler comes back with control. Nice shot by Beckman. Oster counters. Caden Oster just did a fireman's attempt. Very close. Now he changes off to a single. He's got an elevate, which he does so nicely. Nice dump. Oh, out of bounds. Nice technique by Caden Oster. Changed to a different technique right in midstream. A good fake to him. Did a nice lift, but couldn't keep him in bounds. Beckman takes a shot. Oster takes a shot. Reshot. Beckman tries to work into a front headlock position on Caden. Caden drives him out of bounds wisely. Both on their feet. 28 seconds left in this first period. Both action by both wrestlers. Very good match so far. Attempted ankle pick by Caden Oster. Beckman got a foot sprawl. Oh, Caden just about lost his position. Went to a sit, but he countered him. Beckman wrestler tries a fireman's carry, the move officially that Caden tried. Ocean's got a chance to go around behind him. He's got his leg hooked. Goes out of bounds, and its time ran out. 0. So far, 0-0 is this match. Caden's choice, and he's going to defer to that Beckman wrestler. Looks like Beckman's going to choose to go down to start of this second period. We got a 0-0 score here at 1:45. Caution green on Caden. I don't know if he didn't have his hand on his belly button or didn't wait for the referee to put him on, but now they're back in the set position and wrestling has started. Beckman tries a sit-out attempt. Caden so far stops that. If he gets around, tries the Cobra. He's got him in a good position. Worked great defense from that switch. He's got him on his back. He can control his head. Of course, the Maquoketa kids just stood up, so we cannot see a darn thing now, but they're way in the center of the match.
I'm just waiting for, I can see the rep. That's all I need to see.
That's all I can see. Yes, he gets the fall. Caden Oster comes through for the Cardinals at 145. Great counter wrestling by Caden in the top position and put him on his back. Gives us 6 big points for a fall.
I'll draw the score to Dyersville 30, Maquoketa 10 at this point.
For the Cardinals, Ben Tynes.
Ben Tynes, a freshman, he's going to be the first time in that lineup at 152. And he's wrestling Ty Fagman, another freshman for Beckman. Ben's got a head and collar tie with his left hand. He's off the head and collar tie with his right hand. He's got a good inside tie with his left. Keeping that Beckman kid off the back of his head so far. Referee has warned both wrestlers from trying to, I guess, grind their foreheads into each other. Back at the center. Ben breaks the head and collar tie the Beckman kid wants to get into. Little fake attempt by Beckman. Ben circles out of that. There's a shot by Ben, but the Beckman wrestler pulled him up. Now he's got control. He's trying to get Ben into a headlock, but they go out of bounds. Pretty good defensive move by Ben. He needs to keep his elbows in, though. Got back to center of the mat again. Both wrestlers tie each other's wrists up. Now they break free. Now they're back into a head and collar tie again. Staying in the center of the mat this time. Ben Tynes is making the circle with him. He's doing a pretty good position. Beckman tries a shot. He counters it. Ben has the cow catcher position for the wrestler. He has to move him to the mat, which he gets him on the mat. Now he's going to go for a near side cradle. If he can just get around the guy's hips, he'll get a 2-point takedown. He does take him to the match. He's got a good, tight half Nelson on. Here comes the Maquoketa kids. They're in front of us again.
Comes the obstructed
Pretty
view.
excited. I don't know how he did it. Couldn't see it, but Beckman guy managed to get away to his belly. We got to keep our kids back or they're going to get 1 point deducted. Ben's got control of him again. He did get a 2-point near fall. He's got the ankle ride picked up with 13 seconds left. He's got a lot of pressure with Ben on top. Ben reaches for the wrist behind him. Staying in good position. Time's going to expire this first period. Maquoketa takes a 4-0 lead.
I think I'll petition our athletic director to have the chairs back by the stage like last time.
Oh, well, keeps your blood moving. You got to jump up and down. Looks like Ben taking the down position start of the second period with a 4-0 lead. Ben does a sit-out position. He turns in on the guy. He's got the legs turned. If he just crowds him, he'll get a 2-point reversal. But the guy's got a half on. He can't. Ben is not countering that half very well at all. He comes up to his base, but he still has to counter that half. Now he drops down to an ankle. If he can just hip heist, he's got good position on it. Now he breaks all three, and he's got a 2-point reversal for a 6-0 score. Ben's trying for the old barbed wire. He's got 2-on-1 on the far side. Elbow pulled in. He breaks that. He can't get it, so he comes back around nicely. He's got the hips controlled. Still on the mat with 1 minute and 16 seconds left. Ben pressures the opponent's head down, trying to keep him from coming up to his base. He reaches in for an armbar. Can't get it. Goes to a near side cradle. Beckman breaks that. Now they're both on their feet. Headlock tried by the Beckman guy. Ben has got to get his hips down. No change in position because Ben had got the reversal.
Got him on his back.
He does have him on his back. And he's got the fall. Another fall by the Cardinals. Ben times in his first varsity match gets a fall.
Make it 30-16 on the scoreboard. We'll send it back to the studio for a quick break. You're listening to Maquoketa Cardinals Wrestling on KMAQ.
160. We have up now.
Just one. Just one. Yep.
And Jacob Thompson, 160 pounds.
Just one.
That means on deck we have Abe Mickle from Maquoketa to be ready to receive a forfeit. Then on deck, 182 pounds, Will Lemke. Liam on.
Why are they forfeiting at 170? They got like 2 wrestlers there.
Well,
at 195, Owen Grover and Lane Stinder.
The thing I can think of, they don't want to have him against him so they can keep it away from a seed at the conference meet.
Oh.
So we move Jacob Thompson into 160, normally taking the 152-pound spot. So Jacob Thompson goes into a head and collar tie. Beckman wrestler's backed up. Now he's coming back to the center of the match. A little head slapping going on by the Beckman wrestler. Our crowd reacts. Thompson tries an ankle pick. Didn't follow through, though. Beckman powers ahead down and gets 2 points reversal. And Jacob Thompson's headgear flies off.
So the Beckman wrestler's aggressive.
Yeah, I think he slapped Jacob Thompson on the head a couple of times pretty hard. Get our crowd to react to it, but looks like Thompson's got that headgear fixed. Now he's going to the down position again. Score is 2-0. Minute 28 left in the first period. Thompson tries a nice switch, but the Beckman guy countered him nicely, puts him right down back on the mat. Thompson returns to his base. Beckman's got a really tight, deep waist on Jacob Thompson, and an armbar started on the other side. Beckman remains tough on that armbar position the entire. Now he tries to put the legs in with the bar, trying to turn Jacob Thompson's hips over. Thompson scores, gets his hip back down on the mat, gets his head back up nicely, takes away the half Nelson. Beckman picks the near wrist. Thompson does a short sit out, close to being to his feet, but Beckman brings him right back down to the mat again. Picks the wrist. A pretty brutal crossface too by the Beckman wrestler. Beckman slips in that arm bar on the far side on Jacob Thompson. Jacob's got to get his shoulder down. So far, Beckman's close to getting near fall points. He's driving Jacob Thompson's shoulder towards the mat. Still hasn't broke that 45-degree angle yet, but it's close. Thompson's got to get to his stomach. Beckman spins and circles around to the other side. Thompson's managed to stay off his back for no near fall points to end the period, so he's only down 2-0.
I didn't think a shoulder could bend that far back.
Oh. Coach and Jacob talked it over. They're going to go on their feet this final period. Beckman leading 2-0. Jacob goes into head and collar tie, does an ankle pick attempt. Beckman tries to counter that, comes back up to his feet. Both wrestlers go into a head and collar tie. Jacob's tough on that guy's back arm. Underhook position for Jacob Thompson. And the Beckman wrestler shoots him off the mat. He didn't like the head and control that Jacob Thompson had put on him, so smart move by the Beckman wrestler. Now they're back to the center. Shot by Beckman in on the single. Thompson puts a wizard on. So far, no points. There, the wizard was broke. And And he takes Thompson down for 2. Score 4-0. Minute 20 left in this final period of the...
No, it's only second period.
Second period. Crossface. Now the Beckman wrestler's trying to attempt a barbed wire, which means he's got 2 hands on one of his arms and he's trying to spin him around. Thompson's fighting that quite nicely. Beckman has to change off to a different combination, and Thompson breaks both of them. He's back up to his base. He's in a tripod position. He goes to the sit-out position. If he can free his arm. Now he's up to his feet, trying to work that hand free, but Beckman returns him to the mat. 40 seconds left in this period. Beckman's keeping a lot of pressure on Jacob Thompson. That near wrist picked. Works in that arm bar again. Now he goes to the head. He's trying to get a tilt position on him. Slips the legs on top. Like you said, Dale, Jacob has to have the loosest shoulders on our team. That guy's got that arm bar on him continuously.
If I was on that mat, mine would have been snapped already.
Still 4-0. He's got 2 seconds left and no score in that period.
He's grabbing that shoulder now, but...
Well, he's worked on it the entire first period and second period, so Beckman is going to take down. Thompson can turn him. He's right back in this match. Jacobs fought really well at this weight class. Thompson does a nice breakdown. He's going the near wrist ride picked. Putting good pressure on him. Goes to an ankle. Can't seem to get him flat on the mat. Thompson puts one leg in, but the Beckman wrestler counters it with a slide out. Thompson gets him flat. Now Jacob's going to try to put an arm bar on. See if he can return the favor. Beckman does a switch attempt. Jacob's trying to follow, which he does so far. Another sit-out attempt by the Beckman wrestler. A little bit out of position by Thompson. Now he's too high. Beckman reaches up for the head. Gets a reversal, and he's got Jacob Thompson in a world of hurt now. He's got the head and collar tied up. Near arm picked. Wrist pulled in. He's on his back. It's a long time for Jacob Thompson to fight off. We got 1 minute and 5 seconds left. So far, Thompson has managed to keep one shoulder off. Beckman wrestlers readjust. Thompson bridges a high bridge. Another bridge by Jacob, and we lost that battle there.
Abe Nickel will take a forfeit, I believe, at
170.
170. So we'll send it back to the studio for a quick commercial break. You're listening to Maquoketa Cardinals Wrestling on KMAQ. Yep, just one. That's number 8, right? How many? Perfect.
On deck at 195 pounds, Owen Grover for the Blazers, lane center Maquoketa. Johnny Ragsdale at 220, be ready to receive a forfeit.
Wrestler taking the mat from Maquoketa is Liam Onham.
He's at commercial at the moment.
Yep.
You are in the hole.
And back at the high school gym, we're at 182 with Liam Onham of Maquoketa up against William Lemke of Dyersville. Coach?
Both wrestlers have head and collar tie right now. Liam takes a nice single leg shot. He just powers this kid right down to the mat. 2 points takedown. Liam's got a great deal of pressure on the Beckman kid. We're trying to work the inside with his wrist. Tries for the half Nelson on the far side. Now he goes to a power half. Liam jumps to the side. He's right on the edge of the mat. He's driving the Beckman back in. Very smart position for Liam Onham. Smart move by his part. Beckman wrestler was trying to get out of bounds. Onham turns him. He's getting the count on him. He looks like he's got him buried pretty much. Nice and tight, and he gets the ball.
Nice. That'll tighten it up again. 36-28 on the scoreboard.
Here at 195 pounds for the Blazers, Owen Grover. For the Cardinals, Lane Stender. We are up now at 195 pounds.
Take us to 195 with Lane Stender of Maquoketa against Owen Grover of Dyersville.
Lane's going to have his hand full at this match. Grover was a state qualifier last year. I believe he was conference champion at this same weight at 195. I think he's currently ranked either second or third in the state against Lane Stender of Maquoketa.
In the hole, we will have another JV match. That is Hunter Berkey.
Lane ties up a wrist.
You are in the hole at 130.
Grover does an arm drag into a double. Gets behind him. Deep waist ride by Grover. They go out of bounds. Got an intentional release for 1 point. Grover goes to a head and collar tie immediately. Grover keeps trying to work an underhook on Stender's right-hand side. Lane keeps his elbow down. Another shot by Grover. Lifts Stender up off the mat. Lane's trying to counter him, but he takes him back down for another takedown. Goes immediately right to that cross face. Grover works for a wrist tie. Now he's trying to get the cradle on. He's working for that far. He's got the cradle locked up close to the edge of the mat. Near out of bounds. He's got him really, really tight. And there's the fall by the third-ranked wrestler from Dyersville, Beckman, Owen Grover. Won by a fall.
Up now at 220 pounds, the Cardinals, Johnny Ragsdale, will receive a forfeit.
220.
And that means wrestling
220, Johnny Ragsdale of Maquoketa will receive a forfeit. That'll make the score 42-34, and we'll move to 285, where Taven Rich will go against Bennett English.
JV action, it'll be Hunter Berkey and Mason Raker. You are on deck.
Bennett English is a pretty big lad as well. So we got two pretty good bulls out here at the heavyweight class. Hands are shaking and the whistle starts, and Taven moves across the mat, gets the head and collar tie. Taven Rich is working for the inside position on him. English is backed out of the circle now. Now they're back in the center. Rich does a foot fake. Elbow pass. Beckman tries to get the inside tie, but Taven Rich counters that. Goes back up to the head. I think the wrestler thinks his only chance maybe would be to try to throw Taven. He's been trying to get a bear hug on him twice. Rich counters both times. That was his intention, though. There, Taven Rich does a nice power double right to his hip.
Got him
on his back. It should be, he's tight. He is tight.
It should go quick. There it is. That'll make it 42-40, and that'll be the end of the varsity action. The Cardinals will come up 2 points short, but made it close in the end, didn't they, Coach?
Yep. We needed one more match, just like some other matches we've lost in. I believe that if Tipton would have been a one-match different, as was El Burnett, and then, of course, you know, last week against Vinton Shellsburg, he went down to criteria at the end.
We'll have a JV match here now.
Looks like Hunter Berkey's going back out again. Well, he got some rest, so let's see what's happened. Mandatory 45 minutes between matches. Referee's got the clock set again for our workers, and action started again.
I didn't catch who the Beckman wrestler was.
I didn't either.
And it's 138. I'm going to guess this is Ryan Schlarman.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, he's got multiple guys there, so. Hunter works that inside tie. Beckman's giving a lot of head fakes on Hunter Berkey, but now there's a shot by the Beckman kid. Hunter right now has a sprawl, but he gets collapsed to his hip. Beckman goes immediately into a wrist ride, back up to the front. He's going to release Berkey for a 1-point escape. Beckman's keeping his shot really, really low, and a throw by the Beckman kid. He's behind him. He's got to take Hunter Berkey to the mat. So far, no good. Yep, there he got him to the mat. Immediately goes into a stack. He's got the 5 count. 3 near fall. He's going to give an intentional release for him. He didn't break away from Hunter, and Hunter right into a shot. He's got the inside leg picked up. So Beckman's going to retain control of that position. Now he puts him on his back with a Turk ride, which means he's got his leg encircled by his leg, and he's gone over his face for a cross face and put him in jeopardy of near fall points. Like he's going to pick up 3 as soon as he breaks that. There's a change in position, so it should be 3 points near fall. Beckman goes into a armbar position and gets the fall in an exhibition match.
Your winner by fall for Beckman, Mason Rager.
Well, with that, we'll send it back to the studio for these messages and come back with some thoughts from Coach on the match that ended. You're listening to Maquoketa Cardinals Wrestling on KMAQ. Yeah, play those 3. Okay, well, play 2, leave 1. Leave 1, and I'll have Coach T give up an analysis, and then I'll see if I can get Coach Schott to come on after we play the last one. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, Onan and Taven had pins. Who's the other one I'm forgetting? Oh, it's Cade Noster?
Cade Noster and Ben Tynes got a fall. So I got Rich, 1, 2, 3. We got 4 falls. They got 6. That's the difference in the meet. Plus our forfeit to Mickle.
How many points for a 4? Oh.
6.
Back here at the Maquoketa gym, where the Cardinals are going to come up just 2 points shy of taking down Dyersville. Beckman 42-40. Dyersville with the match win, and bring back in Coach Tampir. There was some highlights here, especially on the back end of the meet.
That's true. You know, we did get some falls tonight. I'm sure coaching staff's kind of disappointed, you know, being short end of the stick again. That makes about our 4th dual meet that we've come up a match short. And tonight, Beckman got 6 falls to our 4 falls. And, of course, probably one of our team leaders is Abe Mickle, who got a forfeit. And, you know, we'd rather have a forfeit go someplace else and let Abe wrestle and get a legitimate. But, you know, Beckman, we knew we were going to be an aggressive team like we talked earlier. We saw their freshmen at the West Dubuque tournament, or the freshman tournament at West Delaware, excuse me. So, you know, some bright spots. Ben Tynes in his first varsity match gets a fall for the Cardinals. Onum gets a fall. Got a major decision by Hunter Connolly to get us in the scoring position. And, you know, like I said, Tynes and Leon Onum comes through. And then we got the forfeit, and of course, Taven Rich gets his pin at heavyweight.
All right. Well, we'll send it back and get our last 2 couple sponsors, their words in, and then we'll come up and finish things up here from the old Maquoketa gym. You're listening to Maquoketa Cardinals Wrestling on KMAQ. You okay to talk about Bill a little bit? Okay.
let's recap about tournament coming up Saturday and then go to Bill.
Okay.
Hey, Daryl, how many teams are at Wyoming? 10? It's more than 8, isn't there? They have it? 11? Well, you got time.
Don't look at our website. It's never right.
And for those that are slow in math,
some William Penn graduates. It's good enough for you. I guess it's good enough for my kid. I'm not going to do the other two. The video just is awful with the lighting and not with that video camera. But I'm going to stay and watch. I just want to see that. I want to see that Clausen versus Nickel match.
That means Alex Pitts and Levi
Bellevue doesn't have a large squad either, though, do they?
Yeah. So they are going to wrestle. Beckman and Maquoketa are going to wrestle then, yeah.
Bellevue and Dyersville wrestle, and then Maquoketa Bellevue.
I thought they were.
And back here at the Maquoketa gym, and Coach, you got the big meet coming up here. You wanted to say a few words about?
Well, weather permitting, the Cardinals are going to go to Wyoming. Whoop. Weather permitting, there we go. Mic trouble. Sorry, fans, but Cardinals are going to go to Midland, Wyoming Saturday. Could be a very tough meet. That is weather permitting. I guess, with the basketball game canceled tomorrow night. That's what Don told us.
Yeah, the boys' games have been canceled. It was more due to the fact they did it now because the officials for that game have already backed out and said, we're not coming. And since it is such a big game with Maquoketa in first and Dyersville still with a slight chance of getting Womack East away from them, as they're only 3 games behind yet, that they thought that trying to find some replacement officials would not be beneficial and fair to both teams with such a big game on tap. So the boys' game is canceled. The girls so far is still on as scheduled until further notice, and they'll probably make that decision tomorrow once they get the updated weather reports.
Yeah, you certainly don't want kids on the road and parents as well. I know the buses are supposed to be safe. I know I was always leery in inclement weather, especially when coaches are driving. It's
right.
Great responsibility with you. Got a lot of young people in your vehicle.
I don't even like driving in the winter around here, and I grew up here and I just done it so many years in Colorado and blizzards. I refuse to do it anymore. I make the Coakleys drive me around now.
That's a good point.
But off the lighter side, we did have some bad news this morning, Coach, and someone that you've been around a long time with, your colleagues, you coached together, someone who I held very high in regards in the community as well. It's been a tough week with Layton, and now Coach Fleming has followed suit, and it's just been a sad week.
It has. It's for Maquoketa sports programs in the history of Maquoketa wrestling. Yeah, we lost probably 2 very important people that gave a lot to the community. Like you said, Bill and I coached for probably 25 years together in the middle school, and we both went our separate ways when the winter sports, but we both had a great deal of respect for each other's programs, and there'll always be a big spot in my heart for Bill Fleming and, of course, Leighton Hepker. Both Hall of Famers and really great guys. And there was 2 sides of Bill Fleming. There was a side that coached, but he had a kind heart for a lot of folks in this community, and he gave a lot in his classroom, and I think kids respected him, and I know his basketball players respect him a great deal.
One of I had you as a middle school teacher. I had Bill at the same time as middle school teacher, and I got to talk to Bill last week when he made it to the DeWitt Maquoketa game afterwards, and he'd been watching some of the stuff I've been doing as far as the Maquoketa athletics this last few months, and it meant a lot to me that he was a big-time fan of mine as well as what we're trying to do here, and and I had to remind him a little bit, but he was the one that gave me my start in broadcasting in 7th grade.
Oh, you did that.
I did the films and did the
Okay.
play-by-play for the varsity boys teams for 7th and 8th grade, as well as did stats. And he kind of had forgotten about that I had done that.
So you're telling me your voice was not memorable when you were doing the
No.
color commentary
Well,
for
here's
all
the-
those Sunday taping
Well,
shows?
this is what I think. When I was a kid, I thought he did it just so they could make fun of me on Sunday for
Oh.
some quick laughs. Because at times they would. I was a young kid, but I always had a vested interest in this profession. I shelved it for a couple decades and came back to it just this last year. But he's the one that gave me my start, and it was in this gym up in that crow's nest that. Unfortunately, these crow's nests I found out are going to come down here pretty soon in order to put in some new drop-down batting cages for the baseball team and softball team, which I'm all in favor of as well. But it just a kind of a surreal moment, thinking back on a lot of things today when I got the news, and it's just been a tough day for me as well. And one of my biggest regrets was that after my sophomore year, I quit the basketball team and didn't play anymore. And it wasn't because of Bill, because I really enjoyed him as a person as well and as a coach. And it was more to focus on baseball, and it worked out. But it is a regret that I didn't finish and play for Bill for those last 2 years.
Well, Bill and I coached for all those years, and I really learned a lot about coaching. And like I've always teased him, I took a lot of his good stuff from him and copied them in the wrestling program. And there was stuff I told him that I would never do as a coach, and he respected that, and he teased me all those years, and we tried to keep in touch. Um, like you said, when he was here for the DeWitt boy-girl doubleheader, we had quite a visit that night again, and we've talked on the phone. Yeah, it's sad when you lose a friend, and we lost 2 of them this week.
He was a lightning rod, and as far as the community is concerned, and many people held him in high esteem as well as Leighton Hepker. Tough week, but Godspeed to both of them.
Yes, amen.
Well, that'll wrap up our coverage here tonight from the old Maquoketa gym, and appreciate you come checking in on the wrestling team, and get out and support the Cardinals whenever you can. They need all the support you can get. There's a large crowd here tonight. Come be a part of it, even if you don't have a family member or someone on the court or on the mat or on the field. Get out and support the high school athletics. They can use all the support you can get, and these kids really enjoy big crowds. So we'll sign off here tonight for Coach Tampir. I'm Dale Scott. Have a good night. Thank you, Coach. I'm going to get more comfortable.
It takes a while. Jack wasn't a wrestling fan.
He told me though.
Did he? Yep. Because I was always going to take care of Jack. When he'd come to the old senior bench in the morning, I'd have everything written out for him if we had a Saturday tournament. All our placements, right comment for him.